What a funny old day. Yeah, a funny old day. Evening world, and welcome to, well, it's 7:30 on Saturday 26th of July, and this is the first time I picked the camera up today. So I could have picked the camera up this morning, decided against it, and some of the other stuff I've done today couldn't take it with me, so now I'm just going to have to bring it up to speed afterwards. I suppose the main event for me today was I had a visit from Kate Clark from the BBC. This is Kate in the picture with me and Biscuit. Kate rang me up a couple of days ago and said, would I possibly do an interview with her? She wants to talk about the farm and diversification, on what we did to kind of survive not being able to make a living for the farm. So things like the tree company and some of the other bits and bobs that I do. And I said, yeah, sure, well, we can have a talk about that. So it was supposed to be, well, she said, oh, I'm only going to do a bit, a few minutes of recording. I think she said it was over 40 minutes of recording we did in the end. I mean, it's going to get compressed down into, I think she said two-minute segments. But basically, we were talking about, farms having to diversify, what we're having to do to survive, not just me, all farms. Yeah, and she's I think she might be struggling to compress it down to everything she wants to do, but that's their job, not mine. And I think she's going to pinch a few sound effects off a couple of our videos. So anyway, yeah, we had a wander around here. I've got to put that away because I had to start the tractor up for her. She wanted some tractor sound in the background. So we'll do that in a minute. Just checking on the feeders down here. Pretty sure that one's done. This one out here is done. There's still half a bale of the one outside. But I think what we might also do, I'm quite interested to know if my bit of digging that we did yesterday has worked. Let's go and look at that, shall we? Let's wander down there and just have a look, and I'll tell you about some of the rest of the day. Yeah, there's not much left in there, is there? So we wandered down here, and we wandered down and we talked to the cattle, and the cattle talked to us, and we talked and talked and talked. The interview is going to be on a afternoon programme. I think it's going to be aired on radio, BBC Radio Gloucestershire and Wiltshire, just the two counties, I think. Can't remember what day she said. If I find out, I'll let you know. For anybody who's interested to listen to it, you'll listen to it. I think she's also going to send me a link to it. I don't know if that means folks from abroad will be able to listen or not. Not sure. If I can find a link to it that anybody anywhere in the world can, and you want to, then you can listen to me babbling on, making a tit of myself, as usual. So other things that have been happening today, we had a few bits and bobs to finalise. Obviously, with my mother-in-law passing, we've had to go and find paperwork and stuff like that. We now have, as far as I'm aware, we now have everything we need, or Julie's found everything she needs to proceed on with everything we got. We got an appointment she's got an appointment next week at the registry office, where we can go register the death. I'm going to go with her if she wants me to. And I think once that's done, it's kind of down to Julie and her brother to sort out whatever they're going to do with the funeral directors, sorting out order of service and stuff like that. I'm not going to get involved in that. I will simply stay in the background and be support if required, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean. The house still seems a bit strange without, I know it's my mother-in-law, and I know not everybody in the world enjoys a fantastic relationship with their mother-in-laws, but I always got on very well with Audrey, and every morning I would go in, take her newspaper in for her. Most mornings, if she was provided she was sat in her chair, I'd sit, and it might only be 5 or 10 minutes. 5 or 10 minute chat with her, and then maybe in the afternoon I go and have another 5 or 10 minute chat with her. What's that? Oh, it's a leaf. What tree is that off? I'll give you a clue. Yeah, and I miss my chats with the mother-in-law. So some of you might go, strange man. You'd probably be right. Oh, the geese have found it. Right, we should have a couple of bodies of water down here, unless of course the cattle have filled it all back in again, which they may have done. I know at least one of them was in there earlier because I could see him in there splashing about, a little tinker. Oh yeah, we've definitely got some water. I can see it from here. We've definitely got some water in there now. I should have done this a couple of months ago. I didn't have a big machine, but I could have done something like this with my smaller one. But yeah, we have definitely, oh, that's a massive difference. Way better. And I'd say, judging by the amount of white feathers in there, the geese have been having a whale of a time in there. Look at all that water. Isn't that brilliant? Right, how many footprints have we got around the outside where they tried to get it in there? A couple of scuffs there. I've deliberately kept a lot of the sides steep. That is in an attempt to keep the cattle out of it, to stop them filling it back in, because if you let them walk in, they'll just fill it up. Not only that, if they walk in, there's more of a chance of them turning around and leaving something in there that the environment agencies don't want. So, yeah. Yeah, there's a couple of scuff marks down here. I think that's where they may have got in a little bit. Don't forget we left that there on purpose. But as it turns out, I could actually have dug that out. Because we dammed the outlet down there. Let's walk down to that. So this is actually a usable piece of water now. I would be surprised if they actually come back up the house, because they'll sit on there and they'll be safe from the fox on there. Look at that, the water's still running. It's still running. Considering the amount of rain we haven't had, I'm quite pleased with that. Definitely should have done it months ago. Yeah, so I reckon the splashing I could see earlier was somebody either trying to get across over there. We did leave the willow in the middle. I contemplated digging that out. Was it Maeve that said, oh, leave it in there? Somebody said, oh, leave it in there for a pond and let the ducks nest in it. Well, that's what I've done. I've kind of left it in there, not as a pond, but as a little island for a refuge, for something can sit in there, also reasonably well away from the fox. The fox would probably get to that. But yeah, happy days. Although it is a bit mucky. I reckon that's them. We should also have a bit more standing water down here. This is kind of the area where I was more interested in letting the cattle have a drink, if anywhere. Look at that. I'm surprising how well this stream is actually running. They've been down in there, you can see the footprints in there, so they can have a drink out of that. And they can also have a drink out of this down here. History repeating itself. My dad used to do this when he was a young fella. In dry summers, my granddad would send him down here to dam the stream so the cattle could have a drink. Now, strictly speaking, the Environment Agency and the powers of me don't like livestock drinking from a watercourse. Apparently it's really bad. Personally, as long as we don't make it so they can stand in it, you know, if they're facing that way, you know, the tongue end is facing that way and the PE end is facing that way, the chances of anything contaminating getting in there is remote. All right, not impossible, but remote. But yeah, just think of all the wildlife that it now has somewhere to either have a wash or have a drink. Just water. You know, it's not just the cattle, everything else needs it as well. We all need a bit of water. I'm pleased with that. All right, that's it. I don't think I've got anything else to tell you for today. I have no idea how long I've been bobbling on. There has been very little tractor action. I will go back up and start the tractor and put it in the shed. So if anybody's got tractor withdrawal symptoms, there'll be a little bit of tractor. But in news, spoke to Reg earlier. He thinks we'll be combining Wednesday, Thursday or Friday this week coming. Quite likely. He has got Ched on standby that if I need to do anything with Mrs. P for the mother-in-law, I have got a bit of relief depending on what the timescales. He's got one or two people who have offered to come in because I was going to do all the carting, all the tractor work and all that side of it, but due to events that are beyond my control, I may have to accept a bit of help. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'd like to do it. There will definitely be stuff for you to follow along and share with, but family's got to come first. Look at that! Biggest pond on the farm now. I get the definite feeling that the geese have got the hump because I've come down to the pond. I'm going to call that the pond now. I've come down to the pond and chased them off. Except I haven't chased them off. I just went down to the pond and they've gone off in a huff going, get the pond. So, pretty sure if I get in front of them, they'll change their mind and go back again. I mean, that's where they're going to be happy down there. Look at him. Oh, look at him. Hey, thinks he owns the place. Hey. Right, you happy now? I'm giving it you back. Are you? Yeah. God, don't they? Got a face like a smacked ass, you lot. Now you're happy. No gratitude. Where are we? 5 to 8. That's about time for my shower and my tea. Right, are you ready? Did I leave the keys in here though? I did. That's all right. So literally I drove the tractor out of there to here, and then we wanted to angle the door that way for the sunshine because Kate wanted to take a couple of photographs. Selfies and stuff with the dog and, you know, biscuits, star. So yeah, we're just gonna put it away. Very, very underwhelming as far as an agricultural farming video is concerned. And I have had people complaining, oh, it's not very farmy, is it? Well, do you know what? I've said it before and I'll say it again. Life to me is not the farm be all and end all. Life to me is enjoying what I do when I want to do it, not at everybody else's beck and call. And for those people who are, well, I only want farming stuff and nothing else, well, you know what, you can pick and choose. You know, don't come in or don't stay when I'm doing other stuff. Just enjoy the farming stuff that I do when I do. If that's all you want, I don't mind. But you know, to me, it is about everything. And the channel's not called Bradley Farm or T'other Farm or anything farm. It's called Farmer P. And as I said before, it's about what I do. I am a farmer. I'm also other things. I'm also an arboriculturist, a tree surgeon, a pest controller, a husband, a father, a caretaker of a piece of land. Not all of it is agricultural, and it's just everything. It's everything. So yeah, and that includes building stuff and creating things and stuff for the future for my kids. They're not going to be farming. It's unlikely any of my daughters are going to do anything farmy. They might live here, they might carry on if they so wish, they might not. So I have to build something not just for me, I have to think of them as well. So for those who don't like it, I don't mind. I don't mind if you don't like it. It is literally take it or leave it. Up to you entirely. So right, that's it. That is all the tractor work for today. Don't worry, I dare say before long you'll be fed up with the back teeth of tractor work. It'll be, you know, harvest, and then it'll be straw hauling, and then skid steer and Manitou stuff, and then it'll be on with a hedge trimmer, and it'll be weeks of hedge trimming. Won't be long, you'll be absolutely fed up to the back teeth of tractor stuff. And I probably will be too, because we started one project. I can reveal to you now, we're already looking at another one, which Famous Dave is going to have to help me out with. And I'll tell you about that one as and when it's the right time. But yeah, the build over there, we'll get up to oversight. That's probably going to stop. And then another one's going to begin. And I'll keep you guessing. You can try and guess if you want. But there are plans ahead now for between now and Christmas and the New Year. And Famous Dave might be here for a while. And for those of you wondering how I'm going to do it, I don't know. But do it I will, if I can.